Hello and welcome back to Beckler Guitars and Repair, and today we're going to check out a 2013 Fender Mexican Stratocaster. Now, as you can see, this guitar is missing a few things. So what we're going to do today is put together a Strat, make a few modifications, and then try it out. So I picked this thing up locally for a really great price, obviously because it needs a little bit of work. But it's a pretty nice example otherwise. Like, it's got that nice Olympic white finish, and it's got no major scuffs or dings anywhere. And it's in quite nice shape. You can see it's a 2013, made in Mexico. And the frets are in good shape. It's got a lacquered maple fingerboard and Fender machine heads and your standard alder body here. So the only thing that's missing is the pick guard and the electronics and the output jack. And I happen to have a bunch of Fender parts that have accumulated over the years. I've got a big bin of them. I think I got them as part of a trade deal. But so yeah, I've got an output jack, I've got potentiometers, 5-way switch, there's another pot, I've got a back plate, which this needs, knobs, and I've got a push-pull pot. Now I'm going to show you why I have that. I also managed to find for $100 on Marketplace this era correct for this guitar loaded Mexican pickguard. So this came off a Mexican Strat. It's got the original single coils for the neck and the middle pickup, but it's got a Seymour Duncan hot rail for the bridge. So the hot rails are kind of cool. Basically, it's a humbucker in a single coil form. So what I want to do with this guitar is I want to wire it up like a normal Mexican Strat, but I want to have a push-pull pot for this humbucker so it can switch to a single coil or a humbucker in the bridge position. So that gives you the added versatility of having a humbucker as your bridge, or you can switch it to a single coil to make it more like a traditional Strat. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I've also printed out a wiring diagram for this specific electronics, and what we're going to do is wire this up, solder it up, and put everything together. Then we're going to give the guitar a setup, and then we'll test it out to see how it sounds. First thing I'm going to do is just take off the strings. These are not the gauge that I want to use anyway, and they're pretty bent up, so I'm going to go ahead and remove those first. Let's just take a quick look at this body route while we have everything off here. So we can see that a telltale sign for a Mexican body from Fender is these 3 holes here underneath the pickguard. So this is actually the template for the router. Like, that's where the router holds the template for CNC cutting. And so yeah, if you see those 3 holes, that's kind of a telltale sign that it's a Mexican Fender body. And then we have our serial number there, and then on the neck pocket it dates to June 2013, and all the routes look solid. And here's a look at the neck, and the neck is dated to the 3rd of July 2013, and a couple other factory marks on there. And the neck pocket is not super tight, but it's not loose either, so it's nice. It fits in there quite nicely with not a lot of wiggle room. And there's no shims or anything on here either. So, yeah. It also looks like the neck plate has been swapped. I believe this is a Fender USA neck plate. Not that it really matters, but something to take a note of. So yeah, some of my work has been done for me already. All my pickups are mounted where they need to go. And so now I just need to put in my potentiometers in the spots where they're going, mount my 5-way switch, and mount my output jack with my Fender output jack for the jack plate there, and then I can start soldering everything together. Alright, I've got everything mounted where it needs to go. Now I'm just going to go ahead and follow my wiring diagram and solder everything together. And here's my completed pickguard wiring, nice and clean. And yeah, I just took my time and followed the schematic, and it went pretty smoothly. So yeah, if you haven't tried soldering before, there's not much to it. Basically, you're just heating up metal and sticking metal to it, kind of like welding. You heat up the solder and it turns to liquid, and then you give it a few seconds and it resolidifies, and yeah, it's pretty simple. So as long as you follow a schematic and have just some basic soldering skills, which are easy to obtain, you can rewire pretty much any guitar you want. Also want to mention that the ground wire was missing from the back here. So the ground wire goes right from the trem cavity and the screw plate here through the body, and then grounds out to the pickguard on a potentiometer somewhere. So just a reminder about that. Alright, at this point, before I put everything back together, I like to do a quick test. So I'll plug it in and then try out the pickups. Alright, so yeah, everything seems to work. Another thing you can do to check your wiring is just use a multimeter. So if I plug into my multimeter and put it on 20K, turn everything up, you can see that in the bridge position I'm reading a 50.42, so that'll be in the humbucker mode, and then splitting that brings it down to an 8.07. And then we can see our middle pickup is reading a 6.85 and our neck pickup a 6.87. So yeah, everything appears to be working as it should. So everything's working as it should, but on a Strat, in the bridge position, you have no control over the tone. And for this mod, I've gone this far, I really do enjoy that extra layer of control with the tone in the bridge position. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's super easy. Basically, you need one wire. So that goes between on your switch, you have a terminal that goes between your back potentiometer, so this would be like your middle tone regularly, and this little port here. So all you want to do is just put a little jumper cable between these two ports, and that will allow the bridge to have a tone control. Super easy. So yeah, there it is. So there it is, and that little wire is going to give me a lot more control over my bridge pickup. And just confirming that the tone's working in the bridge. And it is. Alright, so here it is all back together. It's quite a nice looking Strat, actually. And a couple things I noticed. This doesn't appear to be the original trim bar. It doesn't have the end on it, but it fits and it works well. And there's our new knobs. Those are Fender knobs as well. And it was missing the back plate, but I did have this cool clear one that fitted perfectly, screw hole wise. So I thought I'd throw that on there, so that looks kind of interesting. And yeah, okay, so now that it's all back together and functional, let's go ahead and get some specs. Alright, weighing in at just over 8 pounds, 8 pounds, 0.8 ounces. And our width at the nut is 1.65, and at the 12th fret, a 2.01. Neck depth at the 1st fret is a 0.83, and at the 12th, it's a 0.87. Alright, here's our neck profile. So it's a pretty standard rounded C. And yeah, it feels like a really standard Strat neck. Not too chunky, not too thin, kind of right in the middle. Alright, just a quick look at our condition. So, headstock's in really nice shape. Again, this guitar is like really nice shape. There's hardly any scratches or dings anywhere. And let's just check the truss rod here. There we are. So yeah, nice and responsive, easy to turn. So that all looks good. And there's our lacquered maple fingerboard, which looks good. Frets are in nice shape. I'm going to give them a quick cleanup, but there's no major signs of wear anywhere. And the fret ends feel nice and smooth. Nothing is sticking out or grabbing. And our body's in really nice shape. Again, no scratches or dings. The only thing I noticed was this one little mark here. I'm not sure what that's from. It looks like it might have been bumped against something, but pretty minor. Nothing else really to mention on the top of the body. You've got a tiny little finish check here by the neck, but it's not structural, it's just in the finish. It's pretty standard on a Stratocaster. And on the back, nothing to mention scratch wise or ding wise. Looks like there's a little bit of a mark right here, and I originally thought it was just something on the finish, but yeah, oh, it appears to be a slight, very slight ding there. And there's a look at the transparent cavity cover, trim cover I found, and it fits the guitar well. It looks kind of cool. Again, the neck plate looks like it's been taken off of Fender USA, so that's not original, but I guess it's an upgrade if it's off a USA. There's a look at our neck. No marks or dings on our neck anywhere. Some nice grain in the wood. And there's our serial number and our Fender machine heads. So yeah, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing restrung and set up, and we'll have a check on the setup. Alright, managed to get a nice setup on this Strat. So let's go ahead and check it here. So using my notch straight edge, you can see that there's just a tiny little line between the notch straight edge and the fingerboard. That means the truss rod is set quite tightly, so the neck is nice and straight. And here in the 3rd fret, you can see when I use the 3rd fret that the 1st string is resting very nicely against that 1st fret. So that means we've got nice low action by the nut, and our nut is cut nicely. And then at the 12th fret, using our depth gauge, we can see at the 12th fret on the low E, it's sitting at about a 1.5 millimeters, and at the high E, just about a 1. So yeah, nice low action. And we're just going to check the neck for any fretting out or major buzzing. And I like to speed up this part, but if you want to listen to it in real time, you just need to slow down the player to 25%. So yeah, nice low action and no fretting out or major buzzing anywhere. And the fret ends are nice and smooth. And yeah, it seems to play great. Let's go ahead and plug it in and see how it sounds. All right, I'm plugged into the 1 True King rig. And I'm just going to run through the tones really quickly, go through it clean in every position and then with a little bit of dirt. So yeah, sounds really nice, clean. It's got that really signature Stratty sound. And this Seymour Duncan hot rail plays really nicely with these ceramic single coils that originally came on a lot of Mexican Stratocasters, this year especially. So yeah, they're very nice and balanced with each other and they sound great. And then you really have that nice option of thickening things up with that humbucker. And having the tone option on that bridge pickup as well is nice. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with how it sounds. I'm going to go ahead and try it out with a little bit of dirt. All right, final thoughts on the 2013 Fender Mexican Stratocaster in Olympic white that we had to do a little bit of work on. Well, it was a really fun way to spend the afternoon putting this back together. I enjoy soldering and you know, modifying electronics and modifying guitars in general. And you know, if you're thinking that you want to try to do something like this, I would say go ahead and jump in and just try. You're not going to do anything so bad to it that it's not going to be reversible or fixable. And if you're having just too much trouble, you can always try to bring it to a tech to fix it up for you. But I don't think it's too hard to go ahead and try something like this on your own, even with very little or no experience. Just look up a couple of YouTube tutorials like today and just dive right in and learn as you go, because it's not too difficult, and you can do a lot of cool stuff to your own gear and save yourself a lot of tech money as well. But yeah, it turned out to be a really great guitar. I really like the way it looks. That Olympic white just looks fantastic with that maple fingerboard, and it's lacquered so it feels great to play. Super smooth, easy to bend, and yeah, this one plays great with low action, and I really like the way the neck feels. There's no fret sprout at all. The guitar itself is in really nice shape. No dings or scratches anywhere on the body or the neck. Just those very few things that I showed in the video. And the pickups sound great. I really liked the ceramic original pickups on there too. They had a really nice tone to them, and they paired very nicely with the hot rail in the back. When you were using them all in single coil mode, it sounded like a standard Mexican set. Nothing stood out as strange. It just all sounded like it was supposed to be there. And having that added versatility of that humbucker in the bridge position, you can really fatten things up, and it sounds great. Also really like that tone control that works with the bridge now. Yeah, so it sounded great, played great, it looks great. It's a really nice guitar. And as far as originality goes, these pickups would have came with this model, these ceramic single coils. This hot rail has been added, which can switch from humbucker to single coil with this push-pull knob here. And the trim bar has been swapped. It's a little different looking, but it works just the same. And on our back, our trim cavity plate has been swapped to a transparent one. I thought it looks pretty cool. And our neck plate has been swapped to a USA one. But yeah, that was a fun project. It turned out to be a really nice guitar. If you're interested in this guitar, I'm going to have it for sale on the Reverb page. And if you decide to be the next owner, I don't think you'll be disappointed. This is quite a nice one. But anyway, that's going to be it for today for Beckler Guitars and Repair. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to have more for you really soon. Thanks a lot.